welcome back to another video here on Sam's Crafty Castle. So today we're going to be doing these cards with a focus on learning how to use the We Are Memory Keepers foil quill. So I just want to say too before we start, I didn't outline this video, so hopefully it goes okay. So this is the little box. I just got it from Target quite a while ago, but I keep all my foil quill stuff in there. So you can see there I have some of the foil options that they have that you can get your foil quill if you get this starter kit, which is what I got. I just don't have the packaging anymore. Comes with 3 different tips. So the pink one is the one we're going to use, and that's the fine tip. The light blue, teal, turquoisey color one is the normal, I guess, and then the blue one is the broad. It comes with adapters for several different die cut or electronic cutting machines, like a Scan and Cut or a Cricut or a Silhouette, and a couple other ones that I don't know off the top of my head. And then I just have some gold foil there that we're going to use. But like I said, there's all these different colors and packs you can get to try different colors if you want. So I actually already have mine all set up because I made these cards for a card swap at work. And I basically made like 10 of them, I think. So everything was already set up, which made filming this pretty easy. So normally you would find the adapter for your machine. In my case, it's B for brother. You can find that information in the instructions, and then plug it into some kind of USB powered device, whether it's a computer. I have a fuel rod there that I have. It's just like a phone charger power bank thing. We Are Memory Keepers also sells a power bank if you want to go that route. But anything you have like that, any kind of thing that'll charge an electronic device in some way will work. You could probably, it's just a USB, I think, so you could probably even plug it into like an iPhone charger, I would think. But it'd have to be close enough to your machine because the cords aren't super long. And that's what I kind of like about the fuel rod is like I can kind of keep it by my machine, and it's small enough to keep in that box. So all I'm going to do, this part is pretty much normal to using your die cut machine. I'm just going to put my stuff, my paper down onto my mat here, and I'll give you a few more tips as we go. So putting the paper down is pretty much the same. I'm going to do 4 at once because I needed to make 3 more for my swap when I filmed the video. And so I just did 4 just to be safe because you never know. And you have to let your foil quill heat up for a while, so that's why it's plugged in and charging, if you will. It takes about 15 minutes for it to heat up. So I heat mine up away from my machine. I have a couple heat-proof mats and things that it can heat up on, but there is a little silver thing that I could not find at the beginning of the video, but I find it later, that you can put in your machine so you can let it heat up in your machine too if you want. With putting the foil down, this part is what I think can be the trickiest part, and basically you have to make sure the foil stays relatively flat. It doesn't necessarily have to be perfectly flat, but you want it to be pulled nice and tight. The starter kit comes with some really great placement tape for this. But now here's the story. My desk was a mess, and when I did the other part of this for the swap, when I did the first ones, and I had my box sitting on a pile of stuff, and said pile of stuff decided to fall down, and then everything fell out, and I thought I rescued everything. And then all of a sudden I saw my puppy was chewing on something. And it didn't sound like something she should have. So I got it away from her, and it was the placement tape for the foil quill that I apparently did not see had fallen out of the box. So I didn't have any of that when I filmed this video. My order for it hadn't come in yet. So I think it came in the day after I filmed this video, of course. But either way, so I just used purple tape. It worked. It was fine. I don't recommend letting your mat hold it down because basically then it sticks to your mat. I did accidentally get a little overlap on a couple of my mats actually, probably. And so they do have little speckles of foil on them. And it doesn't really hurt anything. You just get a little dot of foil on your mat, and it may be a little less sticky in that spot. But just something to be aware of, and you would rather tape it down and hold it down with the tape. And then that keeps it nice and flat too, and you don't risk it bending or getting weird as it rolls through your machine. So I'm going to finish taping this, and then I will see you in a minute after I come back with my scan and cut. So here's my scan and cut. I already programmed this into in Canvas Workspace, and like I said, I already had it saved from the other ones I did. So I did a lot of this ahead of the game, but because this is about the foil quilt and not the scan and cut, I did not film any of that. So basically, I just scanned my mat in, organized the four. It'll say "Find Your Happily Ever After." That's what we're writing. Organized the four things in my scan and cuts, everything, and then we were ready to go. So now that I just popped the blade out, popped the foil quilt in, just a quick switcheroo, and if you're familiar with the scan and cut, you know changing blades and stuff is super easy. You just kind of lift the little lever, put the new one in, and close it. And then I hit draw, and that was it. And now I didn't make you watch the whole thing because that would have been boring, and this video is already pushing my time limit a little bit. So there you go. There you have it. You're going to see me have some trouble getting this off the mat, and that's just called Sammy just got a bunch of new mats, and they're super sticky. And that'll get better with time and using it. But there you go. That's that. So that's the foil quilt part, and that's why I say it's really actually super easy to use if you're comfortable with your die cut machine. If you're not, especially the software, I could see where it'd be a little harder. But for the most part, the actual foil quilt, really easy to use. Don't be intimidated by it. I love it. I can foil any SVG file or any text that I want that I can make on my computer, and it's great, and it's lovely, and it's easy. And I should also mention, I was going to mention this earlier and I forgot, you don't have to use the We Are Memory Keepers foils with it. Any hot foil will work. Not deco foil, not the Mink foil, that's different. Anything you'd use in like the hot foil machines, if you have the Spellbinders Glimmer foils, the Gemini Foil Press foils, and the Couture Creations foils, should all work with this as well if you're looking for a wider variety of colors. I haven't tried it at all myself because I just recently got my Gemini Foil Press, and I have not tried the foil quilt with their foils yet, but I also have not tried my Gemini Foil Press yet either, so there you go. But they should work just fine. No big deal there. So I'm just going to stamp the castle, and I apologize for the fact that I don't know where the castle is. The day I'm filming this voiceover, I was actually supposed to be on my way to Disney today, but that got canceled, so we're just going to make Disney cards instead, right? So basically, I'm just going to emboss this. It's just a regular old heat embossing with silver, and that's why I said this card has a lot going on. It was a bling challenge, so I blinged it out quite a bit. And after the fact, I realized I probably could have just stamped this, scanned it into my scan and cut, and then foil quilled the castle too, which probably would have even looked better than the embossing, but I also kind of liked all the technique that was in this. So I do make all four of these. I do only walk through one because y'all don't want to see me make all four. And this is not really an easily mass-producible card, so yeah, I thought y'all would get bored. And like I said, I try to keep my videos to like 15-20 minutes, and this is already sped up 2 times to try to get it all in. So this is just the DK Design Silver Embossing Powder, and I just, yeah, it's just heat embossing, guys. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, so I cleaned it up a little bit, and you can see I didn't get a perfect stamp. I probably could have stamped it a couple more times with my Misty, and this is also a super solid stamp. So, but as I was saying earlier, I don't know where it's from. I bought it at a Scrapbook Expo eons ago, probably in like 2013, 2014, 2012 maybe even, and I didn't keep track of where it was from, as I wasn't really vlogging much at the time. But yeah, so I'm just heating it up, and then when we're done with this, we're gonna go and do some stuff with the DK Designs Glitter Glitz gels. The stencil I use is actually from the Stamp Anything. I think it's called Magical Celebrations. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Like I said, I didn't outline this, so I don't have anything written down. But it's from the Magical Celebrations kit. And as soon as I saw the fireworks, I went glitz gel. So And I just got a bunch of new glitch gel too. So I have a couple different colors here. I'm using the turquoise and the wild lilac for this one. Now, every single card I made has a different color combination on it because I'm extra like that. So there's that. But I just put down a piece of paper just to make cleanup a little easier because I can just throw the paper away rather than having to like scrub the glitter off of my work surface when I'm done, because I'm very bad at cleaning. Cleaning is not my strong point. So I just it's just a glitter. It's the glitter paste if you're familiar with that at all. And I'm just going to use the stencil, and I kind of rotate it around. So if you use ink, the fireworks actually layer. And you can tell I'm not good at cleaning because you can see all the glitter on it from the last time I did this. But yeah, the fireworks will actually layer if you do it with ink, but it doesn't work so well with the glitter gel because it's bumpy when you're done. But you just kind of carefully apply it over. You don't need a lot. The first couple times I did this, I used way too much. The smart thing to do is also to mask off the sides of your stencils, but I did not do the smart thing because I don't typically do that. So I didn't mask off the edges, so I do get a couple of random like lines when I use the fireworks that are super close to the edge of the stencil. But it's okay. It still works, right? Because like fireworks can be lines too. It's all good. You get the point. They're fireworks. But yeah, so this card obviously inspired by Disney Parks and the Happily Ever After show. So, and like I said, when I got these fireworks and I knew I had that castle stamp, and it all just kind of came together in my head. And I really think that's about it. I think I've given you all of my foil quill tips that I had. I think the other thing is, as far as cleaning up your foil quill, it's not a whole lot of cleanup required. Just make sure you take it out of your machine and unplug it, let it cool off before you put it away, so you don't like melt anything or mess up any of the foils if you're keeping the foils together like I do. I've literally never had an issue with my foil quill ever. Like, since I started using it, it worked like straight out of the box, which is awesome. There was like literally almost no learning curve with it. Other than the cord thing, because first time I did it, I tried to use my computer and my scan and cut are a little too far apart to use with the foil quill, and I didn't know what to do about a power bank. And then I remembered I had that fuel rod, so that helps a lot. So think about getting they also have this really cool storage container thing for the foil quill, basically, at least that's what they advertise it as. And that's really cool, and that has a USB plug in it, so you like plug it into the wall, and then there's a USB plug in it. So if you have the room to keep that next to your die cut or your electronic cutting machine, that would be super handy. I would think, because it's a USB plug, so I would think if you had like a power strip, like you can get those power strips now with like the USB things on them, if that was close enough, I think that would be okay. So that's probably the most challenging part of it. And the rest of it is, a lot of it is knowing how to use your die cut machine. I don't think I said this earlier, to use the draw function, not the cut function, when you use your foil quill, which kind of makes sense because you're not cutting, you're drawing. You're not trying to cut your foil, trying to push it into the paper. So if you think about it, it makes sense. This is the other thing I wanted to mention. If you didn't want to use the glitter gel, the Decofoil transfer gel would also be an awesome use for the stencils. I actually intended to try to do a sample with the transfer gel and totally forgot about it until I put the glitter gel away, because the glitter gel and the transfer gel live in the same place in my craft room. And I saw the bottle of the transfer gel in there and went, oh shoot, I was going to use that, and I didn't. So there you go. So as far as gluing it together, I literally just glue it together. It's just, there's enough going on in the card itself that to just stick it on there and you're good to go. So here's a couple pictures for you, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.